Haim, we're going to open with a relatively general question. We're interested in insights and wisdom from your experience. The University of Haifa's School of Medicine was launched during an extraordinarily challenging period for Northern Israel. So what we're interested in hearing from you is why was this, in your opinion, why was this the right moment to establish a new medical school? And what specific needs is this medical school designed to address?
I'll start with the bottom line. Thank you, first of all, for being with us. The bottom line is discouraging. Throughout my long life in this country, there was never a right moment to do something. There's always tension. There are always needs which are not covered, and you want to do it. So, but the major initiative is the large and deep shortage of physicians in the country, and especially in the northern part, as well as the southernmost part. Now, this shortage of physicians is being more and more acute and more severe. So the basic intention behind opening the school at any given moment, once we got authorization to do it, was to try and fill the ranks with newly, highly trained new physicians. And we were very happy to get the authorization to do it. Now, as I said in the beginning, there is never a good time to do something with these proportions. You just do it. And the 1 year experience which we had since we opened the school is proving that it's doable, although the conditions around us are really strange and interfering. And we may talk about how we are coping with this. Now, the shortage of physicians in Israel is a long story. We don't want to go into a long lecture, but the bottom line is the country is growing, the population is growing, while the number of trained physicians wasn't growing as fast as this. The other thing is, back in the 1990s, we experienced a large wave of immigration from the former USSR, which brought us many physicians. Now, 30 years have passed, almost 30 years, and they are now retiring. And last but not least, many of the people who get licensed in Israel to practice medicine were educated abroad, and about half of them in schools which are not recognized nowadays as a proper school for giving a license in this country. So all this brought a major shortage of physicians, and this is why they allowed to open 3 new schools. One of them in the Weizmann Institute, which is a small school of 20 students only, and they're going to train MD, PhDs, meaning researchers. Will also practice some medicine, but will not solve the problem. The other is the school in Reichman University, which is a private school. You need a lot of money to join and to stay, and we wish them success. And the only public one is ours. And the public school, which has been generated, open in a public university, and we are very proud of it. And as Gideon has already alluded to, we got enough support to help our students not worry, at least for the first 3 years, about tuition, but this was a chance, this was the opportunity, they had to take it. So this is why we did it now. There's never a right moment in this country.
It's a very Israeli answer, Haim. But the context that you offer, I think, is really important for the people that are joining us on today's call, especially when you made the comparison between Weizmann and Reichman and the types of universities they are and the scope that they're able to deal with. We have in our inaugural class, if I'm not mistaken, 74 students, and that number will grow incrementally every year. So clearly, this was an important time to launch. Can I move on to the next question, or would you like to keep on answering that one?
No, I just wanted to say that the wish to study medicine is so intense in this country that when we people knew we were going to have 74 positions, and there were 1,500 applications. Out of them, 1,100 people met the entry criteria. And maybe later we'll talk about what we did at that point. And I thought it's just beginner's luck. And now we open the registrations of the second year. And based on the information distributed by these guys here and their friends, we already have almost 1,500 applicants also this year. So we will be able to lead the selection process. And if you want, we'll talk about it for a minute, which will hopefully result in a second cohort of students, which will be as good as this one. And I'm not, flattering them. They know we think so. Okay, maybe we'll talk about it later. But
Yeah.
so the process has started, and for a 6-year program, it's not a typical American program. It's more like a European one. People with high school experience. Most of them did military service. We'll talk about it later. They are mature, they are slightly older, and they're just ready for a 6-year boot camp. And we are very happy to be the boot camp leaders.
So you mentioned boot camp, and this conversation is somewhat different, I think, than other webinars that American Friends has held, because usually those focus on faculty, scientific discovery, and today we're joined by 3 students. But my question still is to you, and we'll get to them in a moment. The question is, given that a significant portion of your inaugural class has been balancing medical studies with prolonged reserve duty and wartime realities, what is it like being the dean of a school that is trying to educate students under these very extraordinary circumstances?
I salute the students again, but let's give some more details. When all the turmoil started, 1/3 of the class was doing miluim, military service. And I looked at this parameter as an indication that the selection process was right. Those are people who are highly engaged in what happens in this country, and when they have to be recruited, they go. Now, the question was, how will they deal with it? And to my surprise, we were expecting a lot of need for help. Hasn't happened yet. Many things happened. The corona period taught us how to teach from far away using the Zoom, etc., and all other tools which the audience are acquainted with. Yet, any student who will have any trouble in covering the substance, the materials, we will help them. Until now, maybe they'll talk about it later, we didn't confront any severe, real serious issues related to that. People did it. People studied during their military service, to my surprise. And we are talking to them. We just led a widespread talk 2 days ago. They raised all kinds of issues. Half of them have already been solved. I told you earlier, guys. But to my surprise, as if it's going smoothly. I'm surprised.
It'll be interesting. It'll be
To hear
interesting to hear
them.
the other side of
Yeah.
that conversation in a few moments.
Yeah.
But so then I'd like to move on, Chaim, to the next question. Is that okay?
Who gone?
Okay. So Northern Israel, we talked about this in the intro, has long faced healthcare disparities, especially when compared to other parts of the country. Healthcare disparities, which includes physician shortages. How do you see the new medical school helping strengthen healthcare access and resilience across this region, the northern region? When you look ahead, into the next 4 or 5 years, how do you see this school making a difference in our region here in the north?
I dare say that the first role of this school is to train good physicians. Well, it's still a democracy here, and people will go wherever they want. but we are exerting a lot of efforts, a lot of thoughts, how to attract those great people to the area. Now, the solutions are numerous, and I'll talk about one or two of them. The first thing, our area supplies us with a very good and unique opportunity to teach students both at university hospitals as well as a large and system of community, high-level community care. Although we miss physicians, we have a very good system of community care. So some of the studies will be in a large number of community clinics, not only family physicians, also experts, and what we call tertiary medicine is being performed in the community. This is based on two factors. One of them, the largest healthcare organization in the area is Clalit Healthcare, and they own and operate two large university hospitals in the area, and they have a 70%, more than 70% market share in the community. So they are really serving the whole area. And we joined hands with them, and this proves to be an opportunity because I've already counted 200 highly trained senior physicians who work both in the community and in the hospital, providing one of the best systems of continuity of care which I have encountered in my long professional life. And this is a great opportunity to join the cardiologists in the community, and they will tell the patient that he needs cardiac authorization, and we invite them to next Monday to the hospital, and the student will be able to follow it. So without going into too many details, there is an opportunity here of a widespread, very deeply rooted system of both hospital and community and interrelations within them. The same physicians work here, and it really supplies and provides a very high level opportunity to experience continuity of care at its best form. That's one thing. The other thing, we are convincing this healthcare organization as well as others who have a smaller market share to offer positions to our students. They don't know it yet because they're in the first year, but somewhere during the fourth or fifth year to offer people longitudinal tracks. If you join us, you'll get this residency in this hospital. You may start to know the people you'll work with, and you don't have to worry about matching, schmatching, all those things which worry students, how they are going to lead the future. The organization are thrilled from the idea. We didn't invent it. It happens in the United States in few areas and in Britain also. So then longitudinal tracks is another source. I'll just talk about another one. There are about 10 others.
Yeah.
Just another one is we talk to mayors of communities and cities, and they are very, very enthusiastic about offering young families, students who have a family, to join their towns, cities, and townlets. While you combine it with longitudinal tracks, we believe some of the students being exposed to the area, who love the area, would love to take opportunity of those programs. Yet it's a democracy, they go wherever they want. We believe that many will choose to stay. That's a long answer to your short question.
Oh, no, that's important. I think because I think many on the call are familiar with the concept of continuity of care and how important it is, but they're not necessarily aware of the continuity, as you call it, the longitudinal tracks from the medical school into the community, placement, employment, and what that means ultimately for strengthening the infrastructure of the North.
Just one more second, sorry for interrupting you. It's not that they finish school and they go to the community. They finish school, they go to high-level residency program, and they'll be offered a joint position in the hospital and in the
Yeah.
community in a system which allows it.
Understood. And I think that's a remarkable added value for both the North, the University of Haifa, and the students of the medical school. Um, let's one more question that relates to the students, because this is definitely a webinar that focuses on that aspect of medicine in the North. So when you look at, and I already know the answer to this question because I see you walk around campus as a proud father, grandfather, whatever term you choose, but you seem very close to this inaugural class. Um, what gives you hope about the future of health? What about this group of students gives you hope about the future of healthcare leadership in Israel?
Uh, I don't want to be too emotional, but I'll be somewhat emotional. This specific group of students, we just hope we can duplicate it. As a class, as individuals, I don't know all of them, but the ones we know are, I would like them to be residents in my department, okay? Meaning, I'm not talking about friends, etc., etc. I don't want to be too emotional. Okay, it's very un-Israeli to be too emotional.
It is. It is.
Yet, in fact, it reminds me, Iftach, that your father was my resident. Oh, and he was one of the best ones. So hopefully genetics work here. I'm sure it is. Anyway, I'm confident about this cohort of students. I start being confident about the second cohort. So probably we are doing something right. And I think that real-time relationships with the students, as we are trying to, to perform without nagging them all the time, without sitting on their veins, I think this will bring the solution because whenever a major issue arises, we at least try to solve it. Some of them we haven't been successful in solving, but most of them we did solve them. So it will provide a learning environment in which they are serious, they work hard, we appreciate it, and we supply them with the means. And it's not going to be easier next year and the years after that. But with this taken together, it could be fun.